The night was bitterly cold, the kind of darkness that swallowed sound. On a lonely back road cutting through the woods, a young girl sat shivering in the dirt. She couldn't have been more than 8 years old, knees pulled to her chest, cheeks streaked with tears, her thin shirt no match for the biting wind. Every rustle in the underbrush made her flinch, every hoot of an owl pushed her deeper into fear. She was utterly alone. Or so she thought. From the shadows another figure stirred. Not a wolf. Not a threat. A tan and black German shepherd, ribs showing through her ragged fur, limped forward. Her body bore scars, her eyes carried pain, but when she looked at the trembling child, something changed. The dog lowered herself to the ground, inching closer, as if to say, "I'm not here to hurt you. I'm here to stay." In that moment, two broken souls found each other. Subscribe to Shepherd Legacy for more true stories of courage and devotion. Tell us in the comments, which city are you watching from today? Lucy had grown used to silence. At 8 years old, she had already lived through storms no child should face. Nights filled with shouting, slammed doors, and long car rides that ended in places she didn't recognize. On this night, she had been told to wait here on the side of a road. But the car never came back. The minutes dragged into hours. Her small body trembled, her arms wrapped tightly around herself. The cold bit into her skin, but worse than that was the ache of being forgotten. She whispered her name under her breath, Lucy, as though reminding herself she was still here, still real. The forest pressed in around her. Branches rattled, leaves scraped across the ground. The sound of every owl call and every snap of a twig felt like a warning. She pulled her knees tighter, praying anyone would stop. But no headlights came. Far from the girl, not too far from the road, another lost soul struggled to survive. A German shepherd, once someone's dog, now scarred and starving. Her fur was matted, her ribs showed, and a deep wound along her shoulder oozed faintly under the moonlight. People had chased her away with shouts, with stones, even with kicks. Kindness was a memory she had nearly forgotten, and yet she still moved forward. Step by step, dragging her injured leg through the brush. Something in the air pulled her, something she couldn't ignore. The sound of a child's sob. Lucy lifted her head when she heard it. A soft whine. Low, hesitant. Golden eyes blinked at her from the shadows. Her chest tightened. Wolf? Coyote? Her breath hitched, terror rising. But the figure crept forward, belly low to the ground, ears pressed back. Not threatening. Not hunting. Slowly, the moonlight revealed her shape. A German shepherd, broken, but unmistakably a dog. Lucy's tears spilled harder. Not from fear, but from something deeper. Relief. The dog edged closer. The child's trembling fingers stretched out, barely grazing the shepherd's cold nose. A cautious lick followed, gentle, almost apologetic. That single touch changed everything. For the first time in hours, Lucy didn't feel alone. For the first time in years, the shepherd felt trusted. Two lost souls. One abandoned child. One forsaken dog. Drawn together in the most unlikely of places, neither knew what tomorrow held. Neither had the strength to walk away. So they clung to one another in the dark, as if making an unspoken promise. We'll survive together. But the night was far from over. And soon, headlights would cut across the trees, bringing danger, questions, and a choice that would change both of their lives forever. The faint rumble of an engine broke the stillness. Lucy's head snapped up, her heart pounding. Headlights cut through the trees, sweeping across the ditch where she huddled with the shepherd. For the child, it was hope. For the dog, it was danger. The German shepherd stiffened, muscles coiled tight. People had never brought her anything but pain. Her growl rumbled low in her chest as the truck screeched to a stop on the gravel shoulder. The driver leaned out, confusion on his face when he saw them, an 8-year-old girl clinging to a battered dog. "Hey," he called over the engine. "Are you all right?" Lucy tried to speak, but her voice caught. Fear tightened her throat. She buried her face against the shepherd's neck. The man, Ethan Roy, a local volunteer firefighter, killed the engine and stepped out slowly. Hands raised, voice calm. "It's okay. I'm not here to hurt you." The shepherd bristled, standing between him and the girl. Her shoulder wound bled anew from the sudden tension. A warning growl echoed in the cold night, but Lucy placed a trembling hand on her companion's flank. The dog went still. Not calm, but listening. "Please," Lucy whispered. "Help us." Ethan's gaze softened. He saw the girl's shivering body, the dog's injured frame. Both were broken, both were desperate. He grabbed a blanket from his truck and wrapped it gently around Lucy's shoulders. Then, after a long pause, he coaxed the shepherd into the cab, where she curled at Lucy's feet, still wary but unwilling to leave her side. As the truck rumbled back onto the road, Lucy finally spoke, bits and pieces of her story spilling out. A fight at home. A car ride. Someone telling her to wait. Hours of loneliness until the dog appeared. Ethan listened in silence, his jaw tight. He glanced down at the shepherd, who flinched each time he shifted gears, as though bracing for a blow. He could see the scars, the stitched-together survival. He could feel the mistrust in her trembling body. When they reached the small-town hospital, Lucy resisted leaving the dog. She clung to her neck, tears filling her eyes. "Don't take her away from me," she begged. Ethan crouched, meeting her gaze. "She needs help too. The vet's right next door. I promise I'll stay with her." Only then did Lucy release her hold. Nurses hurried her inside, while Ethan carried the shepherd across the lot. She was weak, but her amber eyes never left the hospital doors where Lucy had disappeared. That night, in separate rooms, both child and dog received the first care they'd known in a long time. But neither rested easily. Each time Lucy stirred in her hospital bed, she whispered the same question: "Where's my dog?" And across the parking lot, on a cold metal table, the German shepherd fought against sedation, whining through the haze, searching for the only person who had touched her with kindness. Days turned into weeks. Lucy was placed with a temporary foster family in town. The shepherd, now stitched, bandaged, and carefully fed, was recovering at Ethan's home. Lucy visited whenever the social worker allowed, running into the backyard where the dog waited, tail wagging despite her limp. Lucy had given her a name, Willow. Strong but gentle. A survivor. Their bond deepened with each visit. Willow trusted Lucy in a way she trusted no one else. The child brushed her fur, fed her by hand, even leaned against her side when the weight of the world felt too heavy. For Lucy, Willow wasn't just a dog. She was safety. She was family. But family, it seemed, was not finished testing them. One gray afternoon, as storm clouds churned above, a black sedan pulled up to Ethan's curb. A man stepped out, hard eyes, rough voice. Lucy's face went pale. "Uncle Ray," she whispered, trembling. The man stormed into the yard. "You're coming with me," he barked, reaching for Lucy's arm. Before Ethan could react, Willow moved. The once timid shepherd lunged forward, planting herself between the child and the man. Her growl rumbled deep, protective, unshakable. Ray sneered. "Keep that beast away from me." He shoved at her, but Willow didn't retreat. She snapped at his pant leg, forcing him to let go of Lucy. For the first time in her life, Lucy wasn't defenseless. "Stop!" Ethan shouted, stepping forward. "She's under protective care. You can't just take her." But Ray ignored him, lunging again. Willow's body tensed like a coiled spring. Every scar and wound in her past burning into a single purpose: defend the child she loved. Her teeth flashed, her growl shook the air, and the man stumbled back. Fear replacing anger, he spat, retreating to his car. "This isn't over." Tires screeched as the sedan tore down the street, leaving silence in its wake. Lucy collapsed against Willow, sobbing into her fur. The dog nuzzled her gently, whining softly, as if to say, "You're safe now. I won't let anyone hurt you." Authorities came quickly. Papers were filed. Uncle Ray's record sealed his fate. He would never take Lucy away. The bond between girl and dog, witnessed by Ethan and the social worker, became undeniable proof of what both needed most: each other. Weeks later, Lucy arrived at Ethan's house with a small duffel bag. Her social worker smiled warmly. "Congratulations, Lucy. You'll be staying here with Ethan and with Willow." Tears filled the girl's eyes. She ran into the yard, where Willow bounded forward, healed and strong. Lucy dropped to her knees, hugging her tightly, whispering, "We're home." For a child who had been abandoned, and a dog who had been forsaken, home was no longer just a dream. Together, they had found it. Subscribe to Shepherd Legacy for more true stories of courage and devotion. Tell us in the comments, which city are you watching from today?